Now, one of the most important things about a gala, of course, is the visitors, the guest locomotives. It's about seeing something different running on a line that you love. Behind me is the S15 506 on loan from the Mid-Hants Railway, and that's something we're really looking forward to for spring 2022. But before we let this loco loose on the public, one or two tests need to be done.
Today we're steam testing the S15 506 and make sure everything's operational and safe for it to pull trains on the gala weekend.
Why do you have to do all this? I mean, surely it comes to you in pretty good nick anyway.
Yeah, it does. I mean, this especially is in everything works as it should. It's in really good nick, honestly. But part of our safety management system, we have to be able to prove that any engine that comes here is safe to pull the public around. It's simple as that, really.
Well, talk me through some of the things you're going to be doing today.
I've got a checklist which I can show you in a bit, which has got about 25 separate items. We have to check every system on the loco, be it brakes, the injectors for putting water in the boiler, all the steam pipe joints in the smoke box are sealed and they're all safe. No dangerous leaks in the cab, the lubrication systems are working correctly, and I can book any faults that I find and I can report them back to the Mid-Hants Railway, or we can rectify any defects if there are any, which so far there's absolutely none at all, before it pulls trains here.
Right, so as part of the acceptance we do a steam test, so we examine all around the boiler, make sure nothing's leaking, check the water gauges, make sure they both read correctly, and then blow the safety valves to make sure it releases at the correct pressure.
And what are you expecting to happen?
Hopefully, the water gauges should read quickly and cleanly, there shouldn't be any leaks anywhere, and it should blow off right on the red line.
Okay, let's do it.
Here we go. Right, start with a quick look in the firebox before we put any more coal in and try and find some more steam. Get your dry torch. Yep, that all looks okay in there.
It looks hot.
It is hot, yeah. All nice and dry. That's good. Right. I think we might need a little coal on there, otherwise we'll have a long search for steam. But you can tell I'm not a fireman. That's right. While that's thinking about making some steam, I'll have a check of these. That's alright. Shut it down. Drain it and stop it. See if it fills back up again. Drop that one. Shut it down. Right, that hasn't moved, so it's all shut off properly. Open the drain. That one's clear. That one's clear. Close the drain. Nice clean reading. And that one out. That one's clear. That one's clear. Open it back up. And okay. What to do now? Stand and wait for some steam.
Well, that certainly seems to have done the job. Another item ticked off the list and on to the next stage.
What we're going to do now is what's known as a steam circuit test. So we scotch the wheels, we apply every brake we can. Somebody looks in the front end inside the smoke box door. And then gives a signal to somebody in the cab. We shut the drain cocks on the cylinders and we open the regulator to pressurise all the steam pipes and all the superheater elements to the cylinders, and we look inside the smoke box for any leaks or anything that could cause us a problem. And then once we've finished, we signal again to whoever's in the cab to shut the regulator and open the drain cocks to let all the pressure back. One of the most important parts of our steam test is we've got to make sure the brakes operate satisfactorily, they release and they apply when we want them to. The brakes on the loco intender are operated by vacuum, so we create a vacuum within the brake cylinder which operates the piston to either drop the piston down to release the brakes, or when we reduce the vacuum on the brakes off side of the cylinder, the brakes on side still has enough vacuum to pull the brakes back on again. So we do that by operating this valve here, which is the ejector. So it's called the ejector because it ejects any air out of the train pipe to create the vacuum. So we open that, and that creates vacuum in the train pipe and the vacuum chamber up top on the gauge. So we wait until that gets to 21 inches of vacuum. and there's a couple of parts to this test. When I've created 21 inches of vacuum, I shut the ejector and I check that the leak-off rate within the train pipe falls within a tolerance. So when I've done that, and I know I've done that earlier, and I know it's satisfactory, it's well within tolerance, I'll destroy the air in the vacuum in the train pipe. That has pulled the brakes on, and the vacuum chamber remains up, and that is the brakes on side. That's what's supplying the brake force. And now I would do the same. I would check to make sure that that leak-off is within tolerance, which is a depletion of 10 inches in no less than 90 seconds. And I know I've already done that, so I know that's all satisfactory. In fact, the brakes on this are really, really good.
Pass the road test.
So, but yeah, easily passed the test, yeah.
It's time now to take 506 on a short general movement test. Will's checking the operation of the brakes and the regulator and looking at the piston glands for leaks. It's just a few hundred metres out of the loco yard and back, but it's enough for the engineers to make their assessments. And the verdict, all is well.
So that's it, all wrapped up and all good to go. Hope you get to see 506 out at the Severn Valley Railway for the Spring Steam Gala 2022.